Now, you know what happens. The weekend, hundreds of them went hurtling through an area, a very leafy area of Surrey called Elmbridge, known as the Beverly Hills of Britain. It's where lots of very rich footballers live. But anyway, this is where the travellers come, riding their horses and carts, apparently 100 of them, causing mayhem as they spread through towns and villages. Now, they also want to go into various pubs, where sometimes, at the end of their tether, barmen and landlords ban them. It happened at the weekend. They went in apparently to one pub and deliberately, provocatively dropped bottles of beer onto the ground until the landlord or one of the bar staff said, right, get out. Now, this was one incident. Now, there was a story in the Daily Mail on Saturday, double-page spread, saying that hundreds of landlords right now are facing actions, legal actions, by travellers who say they've been the victims of racism. In other words, a lot of establishments, and I'm not condoning this, but they do have a tendency to say no travellers, or if they come in, they throw them out. Now, what is being suggested here now is that there's almost a concerted campaign to, shall we say, contrive accusations of racism. You've been racist towards me because I'm a traveller, and therefore I sue you. I want £3,000. In recent months, about 55 different establishments have suffered these kind of discrimination claims. They're being mounted, staged by a legal firm favoured by Jeremy Corbyn. Make of that what you will. But that is what is being suggested in the Mail, that more and more pubs are being deliberately targeted, whereby incidents are contrived, travellers are thrown out, then they sue the pubs and say, we want compensation because you're racist.
Right. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. We're talking about Lucy Connolly in prison for doing nothing, a law-abiding citizen who is giving back to the community by looking after other people's kids. And now you've got a group of people whose very way of life depends upon not being part of the civic social contract. They don't have permanent addresses, therefore they're not paying taxes. They're not on the electoral roll. They live outside of the boundaries of society. And the way they make their money is through casual employ. And that is to put things delicately and politically correctly. I think we all know how a number of people within that community seem to make a lot of money when they're not legally registered to pay tax and are not employees of firms. I think we all know the sort of things I'm talking about. And they can go and cause uproar. They can demonstrate willful, provocative, antisocial behaviour, the likes of which Lucy Connolly did not even at a flicker suggest that she was thinking of. And then they cry, this is discrimination. And some stupid leftist lawyer somewhere has decided that this is a protected way of life, a characteristic that we must all bow down to and worship at the altar of diversity and progressiveness and tolerance. And therefore, people who actually do imperil the safety of a community, who do disturb the hard-working members of that neighbourhood who pay their taxes and actually cohere to social normatives, they run a rampage. They are on the wrecking ball through the middle of it all, and we're not allowed to say a thing, because if we do, we're the bad guys. This is the problem with 21st century Britain. It is topsy-turvy, it's upside down. We say it all the time, but when you put these stories side by side together, if that doesn't make your blood boil, if that doesn't push you to the point of saying things have gone beyond farcical, it's now dangerous, what will?
Yeah, exactly right. So there's a guy called John Riley, who was pictured in the Daily Mail. In recent months, he has named 55 different establishments in and around London, where he lives, saying that they are guilty of discrimination against him. This is one guy. And what happens when these lawsuits go in, or these legal letters? So they usually they ask for things like £3,000 compensation, and if the landlords or the barmen say no, this is rubbish, this didn't happen, they come forward with videos. They filmed the incidents that cynics would say they contrived to happen in the first place. This does seem like a massive, great scam, doesn't it?
Of course it does. And I'm going to mince my words here, but is this not part of their expertise, let's say? I'm beginning to think the only way to beat them at their game is to play it. And that is something I never thought I would say. I'm not the sort of person who wishes to conduct lawfare. I think it's disgusting. I think it's divisive. I think it's costly. I think it stretches human compassion and empathy and patience to the very edges. I don't think it's healthy or productive in a society at all. But I think I should start levelling lawsuits against the local mosque who won't let me go in because I'm not a Muslim, or because I'm a woman. I think I should start levelling suits against the gay club, which is a gay man's only joint, because I'm a straight white woman. Until we start levelling up and playing them at their own game, I'm not sure what sort of message is going to cut through. I never thought I'd say those words, because I think their practices are malign. I think they're negative. I think they're aggressive. I think they're destructive. But what other way have we got left to make our message clear?
Yeah, I'd normally be very careful about a story like this. Just how strong is it? How prevalent is this syndrome? Well, campaigners say that these lawsuits, these racism lawsuits, being filed largely by travellers, are the biggest threat to the hospitality industry since COVID, since the lockdowns. So this is a phenomenal situation.
Yeah, I have a feeling I know where this all emanated from. I don't know. I haven't actually got the receipts for this. But I remember as an MEP in the European Parliament, there being a big push and a big campaign in the EU to recognise travellers as a unique category of people with special dispensations because of their, age-old way of life. I'm sorry, that's a bit like saying, let's recognise the cat burglar as somebody who for generations has robbed houses and it's the only way he and his ancestors have made money. Let's recognise the pimp. The pimp is somebody who only knows how to traffic and prostitute women, so that should be a protected characteristic. I mean, it just becomes stretched to the point that logic can't even accommodate this sort of nonsense. That is not to say, if somebody is from a traditional traveller background, that they are innately bad or wicked, that they cannot be honest, that they cannot have gainful employ. But it is a life choice to move around from place to place and not have a registered address and not pay taxes and therefore not contribute back into the society within which you still wish to claim your opportunities, your accesses and your rights. That is a lifestyle choice. Nobody's making those people do that. My sister went to live in a travellers camp. Okay, I don't talk about this very often at all. She went to live with New Age travellers, of which her mum was one, my stepsister. And my stepsister's gone on to be a brilliant law-abiding social worker.